Sunday, everyone. This is Ad Hominem. It's a show we're going to do where we combine forces with the Geek Room to kind of recap the week and and go over what we've got coming up for the week ahead. We'll also touch on some things that have happened that we believe are noteworthy. We've got some videos that are cringeworthy that we're going to go through to kind of laugh and get ready for Monday. Also, starting this week, I know we're having on our podcast, we're going to have Pamela Whistle, who is the membership director of American Atheist. She's going to start coming on to give us kind of like what Jimmy Kimmel does on his show, where he has people read mean tweets. This is a little different in the fact that we're going to be doing their voicemails and emails and just regular mail. It's really funny.
All right, hold on.
Just
it's not
a second.
Going live for some reason. I don't think.
Oh.
Like
I float all that.
Let me stop it. And
What would be really funny is if we're actually still live right now.
No, I have the thing pulled up. It's offline. I gave you the right stream key, right?
Yeah, it should be. I mean, it went through, but it's just like, no, it's not going to work.
I think we're live. I think we are.
Are we live now?
We are live.
Yes. Frankie, you're amazing. You got.
I don't know what I did. I just stopped. And
I don't know what you did either, but it worked.
we'll just back all that over again.
Yeah.
Rewind.
Okay. Happy Sunday again, everyone. This is Ad Hominem, a show where the Geek Room and NonSequitur are combining forces to kind of recap the week and go over the week ahead. This was a very eventful week in the Aaron Ra and Kent Hovind debate, the no-shows, what happened in the aftermath with G-Man, and we're going to go over some cringeworthy videos that are circulating the web also. In addition, here in just a few minutes, we're going to be previewing a segment we're doing with Pamela Whistle, who is the membership chair of the American Atheist, where we do kind of like what Jimmy Kimmel does on his show. We're going to be going through the mean voicemails and emails and all that other kind of stuff, which is really funny, and I think you guys are going to get a kick out of the two that we've pulled to preview for tonight. So we've got Frankie Wolf from the Geek Room here and Steve McRae. Everybody knows Steve.
Hey.
I think he's there. Are you there, General?
I am here.
Nobody knows Steve.
I don't even know myself. Does anybody really know who they are?
You've been watching.
It's an existential question.
Pilot the Boss Man too much, haven't you?
Yeah, I watch a lot of that.
Probably. So, Frankie, what's happening on the Geek Room this week?
On the Geek Room, we are going to be having the TGR podcast most likely on 6. Nothing special, just all our geeky stuff we usually kind of cover. And but I know on the 10th for Let's Riff, Pimp Monk is actually going to be coming on tonight. That night. Let me make sure my audio level is good. Everybody, let me, because it was a little low in our show, so let me know if it's good. But yeah, Pimp Monk's coming on the 10th. We are also, I think, on Tuesday. Is the guy that was going to shoot himself up in the air, the flat earther?
Oh yeah,
Mike Hughes.
Yeah, I'm going to try to catch his stream, and we're going to try to watch it too. So. Like I said, I hope he does good and it doesn't turn into a snuff film. Because that'd be,
man.
But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it.
Steve, that's a good segue into. Why don't you kind of recap what happened with Mike Hughes?
Sure, and there's a couple things. Well, Pimp Monk is actually having a new show on Tuesday as well. I'm going to be with him, and it's called The Morning Wood. So I'll be having Morning Wood with Pimp Monk on Tuesday.
I think we'll all be there, won't we?
So hey, come watch us have Morning Wood together. It should be pretty interesting. He wants to go over about the state of YouTube and a few other things. So come.
I never want to hear the phrase "come watch me Pimp Monk have Morning Wood."
You know what?
Ever.
Out of all the time I've been on YouTube, those are words I never thought I'd ever say.
This is the first time he's had Morning Wood in a while.
He's been, and it was with Pimp Monk. Oh, go.
He has to schedule it, right?
Yeah, we have to plan ahead, right? Exactly. At my age, you've got to plan ahead for Morning Wood.
Whatever you got to do, man.
So, the show we had on with the Flat Earther, the Madman Mike, which I gotta admit, he was a nice guy. Let's be straight up. He was very genial. He was friendly. He he arranged this with me, and we were, been working on this for a while to have this interview with him. And he's had a lot of interviews about this. He's been interviewed a lot, and he said that the stories they had were wrong. And I was willing to listen to him. And I said, look, I want you to get your story out. I want to know the truth. I want to know what you're actually doing this for. And that's why he agreed to the interview. And I know he really liked it, and he really did get his position across, because I think that the way the media portrayed this rocket launch coming up here, which, by the way, was 1,800 feet, not meters. That was my mistake. It's about 550 meters, I believe. They were saying that he was doing it in order to try to see the curve. Now, most of us realize that obviously the Earth isn't flat, and if you try to go 550 meters in the air, it's not going to show you curvature anyways. I know, big surprise there. Sorry for spoiler alert, people, but the Earth is not flat. Crazy talk, I know. So he was doing this for publicity in order to raise money to get to a higher rocket thing, which was he wants to go to the Kármán line. Well, the Kármán line is 62.5 miles above the Earth's surface. It's literally almost into low Earth orbit. Low Earth orbit is between 99 and I believe 1,200 miles above the surface, and the ISS is somewhere up there around 250 miles or so, if I remember correctly. So he's going way the hell up there supposedly, and I don't know how logistically this is going to be possible, whatever. But the point is that he's just using this rocket launch from Amboy on the 6th just as a way to get attention. And that makes a little bit more sense to me as far as that aspect, right?
But ultimately, though, isn't he ultimately doing this to show that the Earth is flat?
Ultimately, yeah. And I think it's more to himself than to other people. I think he's one of those people that he thinks that he has to visually see it for himself to have confirmation, which is, I think, visual observations are one of the worst ways to confirm things when it comes to that. Yeah.
So how did the news get it wrong?
Because they were saying that this particular rocket launch he was doing was so he was trying to confirm the shape of the Earth on the rocket launch. Like going up that high would see curve, which you wouldn't. Right?
Still, though, I think ultimately he was doing it to show that the Earth is flat, right?
But not this particular rocket launch. They made it out to be like he's going to launch himself 1,300 feet in the air, hoping to see curve or something.
Oh no. He was a nice guy, though. I mean, he was a very nice guy. You kind of wanted to shake him and ask him how you can be so crazy to believe that the Earth is flat. But with him, it's kind of like, okay, just let him believe whatever he wants to. He's such a nice guy.
He seemed like a harmless guy, right? And I'm really kind of concerned for him. I mean, he's strapping himself onto a rocket and launching his ass up in the air. Now, he's done this before. This is not his first attempt, but the first attempt that he had when he actually did launch, he got injured.
Oh, yeah. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Seriously. So,
yeah.
No joke with this stuff. And I don't want to see the guy hurt.
Do we know how he's doing it? I read somewhere that it's like he's doing it with steam. He's heating 70 gallons of water.
Yeah, it's steam pressure. Steam has a lot of thermal energy. And when you release that thermal energy, it makes for a very decent propulsion device.
Now, is that because he can't get access to actual, like, rockets?
I would imagine that there might be some other legal things there if you start using rocket fuel and JP5 or whatever.
So can we call it a rocket then?
It's a rocket, sure. Yeah, it's still a rocket. I mean, the propulsion system is same as any other rocket. It's just that the fuel is different.
I think steam tube would be more appropriate.
It's a steam rocket.
Yeah. I kind of hope, in some way, he kind of is able to go up there. As far as he needs to, this debate needs to be long put to rest. Like, it is just gotten way out of hand.
It is to rest.
Out of hand. Well, yeah, technically it is.
2,000 years ago, it was to rest.
Technically it is, but you still got so many people who go around, nah, NASA's lying, nah.
But it's just like Aaron pointed out. Aaron pointed out that once he goes up and he sees it for himself, the people who still believe that the Earth is flat will just call him a shill. Like he's going
to be part of the conspiracy.
Right. This will not fix anything. It'll still go on, and perhaps you have somebody getting injured for a ridiculous cause, and a really nice guy. Like, you hate to see, like, if you had an asshole that was strapping himself to a rocket and shooting himself in space, it'd be like, good fucking riddance,
Yeah. Hey, G-Man, I got a rocket for you. Want to try it out?
Oh, NASA paid them off.
Good segue. Yeah,
would you like that?
So as many of you know, we had a debate with Aaron Ra and Ken Hovind, which was even better than I think that we expected it to be. We got to one question, leading the door open for yet another one of these. We're going to put that together, and that will be hopefully coming up soon. We'll keep you guys posted. But following the debate, Steve was hosting a after show on the Great Debate Community channel, and probably about an hour and a half through, I guess I should back up and say that for the past couple weeks, G-Man has been releasing several videos about Aaron and his lack of knowledge on, a myriad of topics, which I wouldn't necessarily agree with. I think Aaron has demonstrated, especially demonstrated on Friday, that he's more than competent in these issues. I just think it's a personality clash with him too. But at any event, Aaron was in the after show, and about midway through, G-Man popped in, and it was a disaster. I mean, to say it nice, the entire after show just fell apart, and it just went crazy. But a new rivalry, I think, was born out of that, and that was between Steve and G-Man, because G-Man was under the impression that Steve was throwing him under the bus. There for a while, they had a pretty amicable relationship, and that just went to hell very quickly. So I'm going to let Steve kind of state his thoughts and then just put that whole issue to rest and be done with it after that fact.
Real quick, they're in the chat room. The slow mode's still on, and it's I thought they want it off in the chat since it's not a lot of people.
Slow mode.
Yeah, slow mode's still on.
Put it for 5. I usually put mine for 5 seconds, but
what is a slow mode?
Slow mode.
Why?
Because if not, you can't read the chat. It get like when we had the 750 people watching. If I didn't have slow mode on, the chat would just be so fast. Yeah. So you have to put slow mode on, where you can only put one message every 5, 10, 30 seconds, or whatever you set it to.
Oh.
But the answer to your question is, first of all, who's G-Man? No, I'm kidding. Okay, look, this is
well,
wet down.
So much for.
All right, thank you for joining us tonight. G-Man is slow mode. Dave says.
Dave's
okay,
on
look,
fire today.
I don't want to bag on G-Man. So look at.
I want to make it better, not worse.
Yeah, I'm not bagging on G-Man. It's hard not to laugh though. But here's the story. First of all, it was on my channel. It was on one of my channels, on the Great Debate Community channel. But actually, Bullinator was actually running that particular hangout for me.
He thought it was mine though. That's the funny thing though.
He did.
He said several times, "Kyle, why are you allowing this to happen on your channel?" And I was just like, "It's not my this is not my doings." You know what I mean? Like, I'm not responsible for what is transpiring here.
Yeah, I mean, technically I'm responsible, but Dave was in charge. My rule is if you're hosting something on my channel, you're God. You are the running it, and so I give them full reign to do that. So, I mean, they asked me for my advice and my opinion and stuff, but I give them pretty much full reign. But so I do the after show, and by the way, I will tell you right here and now, if you have not seen this yet, go watch it. It is the funniest thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life, and I'm not just exaggerating.
It was
funny. I had watched it 6 times, and each time I still lost my shit. It was
oh God, there's going to be like 16 videos made for this one now.
Oh, at least
17. I already got one. Yeah. Or I cut it up a
little bit. Ganesh is in the live chat. He's going to probably make a video about it. That was, by the way, I got to tell you, Ganesh in the live chat, you, my friend, have the patience of a saint, because I thought that was hilarious.
I felt bad for Ganesh. Like he was getting jumped on by G-Man. I was like, he's not doing anything. G-Man, come on. He's actually trying to talk to you. The one person that's like
one of the nicest guys, and it was
just scorched earth mode. It was scorched earth mode the entire time. It was just burn everyone and everything, and that's why I dropped out. I mean, I had to. I couldn't take it anymore. I was already stressed and like on the jitters from the debate, from having to. I don't know. It's a different feeling whenever you're kind of the ones hosting that kind of thing, because you feel like you're being pulled between both sides to make sure that they're, number one, happy with the way that it went so that they come back. You know what I mean? And so by the time it was over, I took a shot and smoked a cigarette, and I was just like, I'm done for the night. And then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose on the GDC channel. And then I was just like, "Fuck this! I'm going to bed."
Okay.
I was real quick. I was watching right after Arn Raw jumped off with my wife, and it was right at the time where he started going on Ganesh, and my wife's like, "What did that guy do to him?" I'm like, "Nothing." Why is he yelling at him? I was like, "I don't know."
Hashtag Ganesh did nothing. Hashtag Ganesh did nothing.
We're going to start that. Hashtag Ganesh did nothing. So, okay. As you guys know, we were winding down after that discussion. I mean, the amount of work that went to making that happen, and Kyle especially, the amount of work he did was just mind-boggling. But a lot of work went in. I put work in. Frankie, Holy Kool-Aid. A lot of people were involved in making this happen. This was something that a lot of people wanted to make happen. And we figured, well, let's just have an after show and kick it. And Arn's, yeah, I'm drinking, I'm having fun. That was great. Let's all chill out, right?
The magic refilling goblet.
Yeah, I want to know how he gets that. I want to get one of those. Yeah, where does he get that from? He never refilled it, and yet it stayed filled the entire time with wine. I want one of those. So, I texted G-Man because Arn had asked him the other day if he wanted to come in, or asked me to ask him to come in. And he couldn't. So I said, hey, G, we're chilling here. It's the after show. We had a big event. A lot of people showed up. Why don't you come in and just kind of kick it, kind of thing. Just hang out with us.
Because kick it is the MO, right? He's known for kicking it.
Oh, yeah. Well, kicking crap everywhere.
No, I'm just saying, he's trying to get him to come in to just chill. I don't think was your MO, Steve.
Well, no, it was. No, I mean, seriously, no. I mean, the talking. I mean,
okay.
He can have normal conversations, right? I mean, not only I was trying to turn him around a little bit because I wanted him to get away from that stereotype that every time he comes into a hangout turns into a shit show, right?
So you invite him into the hangout with his latest mortal enemy.
Arn's not his mortal enemy. They've talked like once or twice.
Okay.
Arn wanted to have a nice conversation and see just check it out and stuff, right?
Sure.
There. He wasn't expecting a shit show. Okay, so when G-Man came in, he just started going off on his things. Okay, fine, let's go down this route. But the problem is Arn had asked me. He said, Steve, do you mind if we had like G-Man be a third moderator for her next debate with Kent, or just a discussion with Kent? And I'm like, if that's what you want, let's make it happen. Sure, he's a theist and he's a young creationist and might give a little bit more, less of the optic that we are very much against Kent. Because even though, I have my own personal bias against Kent as I don't agree with him, when it comes to these events, I try to give Kent as much time as he can get. I want to make sure he has equal time. I want to make sure that he's not being strawman. I hold the person going after Kent to the same level that I hold Kent to them. Right.
Now, what would be the chances that what he said there was sarcasm?
Who, Arn?
Yeah.
No, I don't think Arn was being too sarcastic. He really meant this. He actually, that's why he asked
sarcasm.
No, he wasn't. I think he was serious because he even asked me. He said on the after show, he said, "Hey, Steve, do you mind if I ask G-Man what we had talked about?" And I had to think about it, and I said, what are you referring to? And he told me, and I said, oh yeah. I said, go for it. Yeah, be my guest. I'm okay with that. And he started to ask him, and he was really going to ask him that, and G-Man would not stop long enough to take a pause in order to listen to what the question was, and that's why we were laughing, and that's why it was downhill from there.
So you can go on record by saying that you were not laughing at G-Man. You were laughing at his behavior.
No, I wasn't laughing at G-Man. No. See, that's what G-Man had to understand. We're not mocking him per se. We're not laughing at him. The things he says and the comedic timing that was there was perfect. It was just a comedy of errors. Like the cat.
Oh, God.
What did I have to do with the cat? I didn't plan that cat making the expression like, please do Jesus, get me out.
He is fun. Using me again.
That was funny.
I wanted to tell the poor cat, please blink twice if you need me to call the SPCA or something. I felt so bad for it.
Oh, Aaron Raw's expression after that cat popped up, it was just, it was great. I think I was laughing more at Aaron Raw laughing than I was at G-Man.
Arn, yeah, he's such a cap had Arn go. He was throwing back his hands and head, and
yeah. I was more amused. Like I seen what G-Man was doing, but I was more amused at Arn's like facial expressions. They were the best. He was.
It's interesting that you say that too, because watching his his debates and stuff that he does online, you get this picture in your head like he's angry all the time, you know. And when you get him in situations like that, just he's actually hilarious. I mean, Arn is really funny.
Right, it was great.
Which speaking of, go ahead, Steve.
When Arn said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I lost my shit.
Funny.
He was so confused as it was because I didn't know what the hell G-Man was talking about.
So we can say that we're done with the whole G-Man thing, right, Steve?
I don't know why G-Man's even upset, to be honest with you. I have no idea. I can't even see it. He had the opportunity to come in, have conversations like any other persons that I've invited in before, and he just decided to take it to a different level and not listen to anybody. If he went back and watched the video, maybe he could look at it and go, maybe I should have listened more. But no,
he was asking for the link.
Did he?
Or not me, but he asked people on the follow-up video that he did. He was asking for the link for it. So yeah, I'm assuming that he did.
Yeah, maybe he'll watch it and go, yeah, maybe they have a point. It was funny.
I doubt that.
Well, there's always hope. I mean, like I said, I want to laugh with G-Man. I don't want to laugh at him.
Yeah. So let's speaking of laughing at, let's take it from there. Pamela Whistle is the membership director of the American Atheist, and starting this week, we're going to do a once-a-week segment with her on our podcast where we kind of go through the voicemails that get left, the emails, letters, that kind of thing, because they're actually very, very interesting. And to kind of preview that for you guys, we've got two examples of very, very logical, reasonable voicemails that were left on the American Atheist voicemail. So Frankie will take it away with number one.
All right. Let me know if everybody can hear this. Beep.
How do you know that the Bible is fake news? Where do you get off on your high horse? You need to do more studying. You people need to know the Lord Jesus Christ. You need to understand the Bible is real history. Don't tell us that everybody knows this stuff, because that's not true. Think about it. Think about it before you put out nonsense. It's not even true.
I felt threatened by that.
Think about it.
Is that?
It sounds mafia-like, doesn't he?
It sounds like the guy. The who's the Uncle Ned's friend with the voice box on South Park.
Oh, god damn it! What's his name?
But think about it. This was in response. This was in response to a billboard that they had put up for a convention, I believe. But the ironic thing in that voicemail is the think about it, which is exactly what the atheists have done.
The irony there.
Conclusions that they've come to. But now that one doesn't hold a candle to the next one we're about to play. Now this one is. Well, we're just going to let her speak for herself.
Prepare yourself for this one.
Dun, 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 dun.
How do you know?
Oops. Let's try that again. I'm trying to make sure I got the. Let me make sure I didn't download. I think about.
Sure. While you do that, I'll give you a little backstory on it.
Yeah.
This lady had called and she left a voicemail for Mr. Fish, who is another person that works at the American Atheists, and she was actually making jokes about his last name. So Pam, being the having the sense of humor that she does, she wanted to find out why Nick got his last name made fun of, but she didn't, because her last name is Whistle, and so she was like, surely she should or she could have come up with something for me. So on the next round, Pam tries to find out why she didn't get her last name made fun of.
All right, give me a second. Make sure you didn't. Make sure you asked.
Sure.
Just gotta re-download it.
Now, Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong, but we kind of had more of an exclusive thing on these emails or some of these voicemails with American Atheist now.
Yeah, nobody else is doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we actually really enjoyed talking to Pam. I got to admit, she was very funny. She was very polite, very astute, and I loved listening to her stories.
She's sharp.
She's very sharp-witted. Oh, yeah, very, very sharp. And so when, we had talked about these voicemails, Kyle was just like, oh, we got to hear this. We got to hear these. And I got to tell you, the next one that's coming up, when I heard this, I lost my shit. It was just so bizarre, so funny.
And it's on a level that's just, I mean.
You have to wonder how these people exist in society. And again, I'm not an atheist activist. I'm not an atheist. So I don't have a dog in this fight. But for God's sake, if you're going to leave a voicemail, why would you leave something that obviously is not going to convince somebody to your position?
And two, I want people to try to pay attention to the parallel this lady tries to make between Jesus and Bill Goldberg.
You sent me two of the same one.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's why I was like, I know I downloaded two.
One second, guys. Steve, kind of go through what we've got coming up while I.
On the NonSequitur Show?
Sure.
All right. Well, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We actually have some stuff pre-recorded already. We're a little backed up on getting the podcast out because we've just had so many people that we've interviewed. We do have a reverend that we've interviewed that Shannon was her name Shannon, I believe?
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
Yeah, a wonderful woman. I mean, just a great discussion with her. That podcast should be out soon. We also still have Richard Carrier's podcast will be coming out. We have interviewing up. We have Anthony Magnabosco we'll be talking to. We have Nate Dern from Funny or Die. We've got who else we got? I mean,
Summer Helene, who is a executive for a movie production company in California. She's going to be joining us this week for International Women's Day. We're going to be kind of going through
Oh, did he freeze?
From her beginning in huh?
Oh, you froze there on us.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
You're good now.
Am I back?
You're back.
Okay. So, Frankie, you should have, I think I sent that, or that went through.
Yeah, I just got to refresh the page.
So Monday we've got Anthony Magnabosco. That's tomorrow. He'll be joining us. Wednesday is Nate Dern. We're trying to shoot for something this week that we're going to do with Godless Engineer and Godless Cranium at the same time called Cringe Correlation. And that's going to be reading off some very cringeworthy questions left on the Quora app. Quora app. That app where you kind of ask people questions and they leave their answers to. Some of them on there are just. I read one this morning. It was sent to my my email. That is it okay if I slap my 17-year-old son?
Yes. Oh wait, no.
So we're trying to work out the details with that. If not this week, it'll be this weekend. And then Thursday is the Summer Helene interview. Former Victoria's Secret model, now turned studio executive. So,
and most importantly, on this next coming Sunday, we have an exclusive interview with G-Man's cat.
And Creationist Cat will actually be doing the interview.
I think Creationist Cat has sexual thoughts to G-Man's cat, though. So that's
he's not.
Yeah.
He's a Shadomite.
He's Shadomite. You know what? I'll put a shout out to to Creationist Cat. Maybe he might be interested. He's kind of a cool cat. So
yeah, all you had to do is ask him. He'll
Yeah, well, he got mad at me last time, I think, over that whole Duncan Peasants thing and the Applebee's. Even though I was supportive of him.
Somebody off?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't piss Vadim off. I mean, I was supporting Vadim. I actually even told him, I agreed with them, but man, they shat on him so bad.
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh, it was brutal.
All right,
So
you ready?
Yeah.
Yep. Get ready for this, people.
They're not ready.
No, they're not.
I'm not ready.
To see if she's a member.
Strikes me as unlikely.
Hey, you never know.
Yes, you American Atheist.
Yes.
How nice of you to call.
Well, my last name is Whistle. Didn't you
Yes,
see?
but you're an atheist.
Yeah, but my last name is Whistle. You teased Nick about his last name. How come I didn't get any attention?
Good fish. Well, listen, you can whistle up Mr. Fish's asshole, okay? You atheist bitch.
Well,
Thanks for calling back. You no good atheist bitch. May you burn in hell.
But
and
wait.
you all will.
I want you to tease me about my last
F
name.
you, bitch, 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 bitch.
Why don't you just
Jesus,
say-
fuck you.
I told you
That's
be
all-
ready.
That's the only thing I can think of is the Exorcist.
Oh,
Jesus,
boy.
fuck you.
You want to? Can you raise the volume out a little bit on the callback?
Yeah, let me see.
Oh, it gets worse. Just spoiler.
Listen, you atheist bitch.
I don't.
You call here again, and I'm gonna send
as I can
Jesus over there, and he is gonna spew you into hell. You atheist, stupid bitches. Don't believe in anything. You're stupid, ugly, and you're dumb. Shame on you, and you
But
will all
why don't you let me get a word in?
for you.
Can I please get a word in?
Call up Mr. Fisher's
Because-
asshole where you belong.
Well-
I want you to go up his asshole and smell it and lick it and say I love you, Mr.
She's been talking to Rain Florence a little bit too much.
Whistle, and then I want you to blow a whistle in your twat.
Such a lovely lady.
I can't. Hang on.
Such a lovely lady.
Can't you just feel the love of Christ, flowing through her right now?
My vision of it though is her sending Jesus out like Bill Goldberg to spear them
weapon.
straight into hell.
Jesus, weapon. Oh my God, where do you go from that? I mean, I wasn't kidding when I said I first heard that. I just was dying, and this is like what they get all the time.
Yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're actually going to be going with a lot more of those. Those are just the voicemails. The emails are equally as frightening. And
So let me ask the live feed. We don't have any right now more, but we'll be getting a lot more. 'Cause like I said, we have an exclusive thing with them. Do you guys want to hear more stuff like that coming up? I'm curious from the live chat there, because that's just freaking right. I'm dying.
Pull back the meth.
Steve, I'm not sure what I heard, but I'm pretty
Agreed.
sure she's back on the meth.
That's hilarious.
That's going
So-
well. Everyone like, yes, please more. Jesus, please more.
While we're in cringe mode, I guess let's begin with a couple clips that we've pulled to kind of what's the word? Evaluate, I guess, as best we can what's going on.
Yeah. Right.
You mean what, in cringe mode? There's no going back.
Nope. You're stuck.
No going back.
Yeah, well, we had that earlier today. Actually, I was on Frankie's channel on the Geek Room, and we went way past cringe mode. I actually think I'm going to delete that from my Facebook because I had a live stream.
They usually do on the Geek Room. They usually look at the line and say, "We're passing that big time."
Oh, Frankie, how far past the line do you think that hangout went?
It was enough to where I actually put it on age restricted. The first time ever.
Well, look, the
Geek Room put something on age restriction.
You go past the line when on your preview of your Patreon show, you have to blur out what's going on, and all of a sudden I believe it was the episode where what's her face, the lady with the cucumber obsession,
Rain Florence.
yeah, she's demonstrating that something's normal or something like that. I'm not going to go into it because I'll throw up, but yeah, discharge, I believe, was the name of the word she used.
I think the term was mucus.
Oh, I do have one. We got a couple. Well, two. One is the moon is its own light source. So this is kind of I guess a flat Earth video. It's from Richie from Boston. Let me make sure y'all can see it.
We can hear it, but.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today's the 28th of June, 2017, and I am going to show you some video I just took outside with the Nikon P900.
Yeah, we got pimp jacked.
The moon, it's 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, PM, in the Northeast, and the sun is just a little bit higher than noontime. And right directly next to the sun in the sky is the moon. Now, here's a video. Here's a picture of the moon. That's the moon right there. I just caught this. The moon is right here, and right to the right of it, and a little bit higher, is the sun. Now, if the moon was a planet that was simply reflecting the sun's light, the moon should be entirely lit up right now. And it's not. It's right next to the sun. NASA, science have always taught us that the moon goes through its phases because the Earth is in the way and the moon is reflecting the sun's rays on the other side. If anything is true, if the moon was not its own light source, right now it's directly next to the sun, it would be entirely lit up, and it's not. There's the moon right there.
Yeah, can anyone elaborate on that?
There's just so many things wrong with that. I don't even.
Because the sun is farther away than the moon, so therefore the sun is going to be kind of farther back than where he's showing the moon is. So it's only being lit up on that one side. You see how it's kind of lit? If it was his own light source, the entire moon would be lit up.
Yeah, if its own light source, wouldn't we be seeing the entire moon all the time?
Listen,
the sun is farther away.
There's something to be self-refuting for this particular argument. And yeah, the sun's like 92 million miles further than the moon. So yeah,
I'm the biggest idiot on science stuff that you can find probably, but even I know that if they were side by side, maybe. But now don't flat earthers, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't they believe that the sun and the moon are on equal kind of levels and they spiral and rotate?
Yeah, they're about 35 miles away and like
go back out
feet or cross or something. Yeah,
I've actually
maybe according. No. If you think that, I guess that that would be true. If you think that they're not farther distances from each other, then that would probably be true. But that's not the case. I mean, the entire moon would be lit up if it was his own light source.
Yeah,
it's a self-refuting argument. I think. I mean, you see that it's not all lit up. So how is it like emitting its own light?
It's got some busted LEDs. The only thing I've seen, like some diagrams where the moon is just like over the sun, like kind of like this, and then they tried to explain the solar eclipse that way at one point, which made no sense. The moon's right here, sun's right here,
right?
The eclipse would happen that way, but somehow
it
happened this
everything.
way. And I don't know.
They've got an answer for everything. The problem is just none of it works.
Exactly.
Over Proceed. To it so you can see it. Watch this. There's the moon. There's the moon. Trying to zoom in on it, and I'm doing it without a tripod, but there's the sun right there, and then right over here is the moon in the clouds. It's right next to the sun. The entire moon should be lit up like a smaller sun. If it's so reflective that it can reflect the sun's light from the other side of the earth in the middle of the night, then it should be lit up much like the sun. And just one more thing real quick. A lot of people send me videos or ask me about this stuff. Lots and lots of channels will show you images like this and then say, look at that right there. That's Nibiru, and these are the other planets around it. That is nothing but a lens flare. Lens flare.
All right, so that's the only thing he's got right so far.
Oh, hey, at least he's not that crazy. But the reason
it's a small constellation.
Yeah, it's a small,
the reason
like,
that
really?
the moon is not lit up entirely is because the moon is in between Earth and the sun. Therefore, the moon is only capturing the light that's hitting it on its way to Earth. Therefore, you're only seeing that little cusp of the edge because the moon's here and the sun's here, or back out here. So the entire moon wouldn't be lit up by default. I mean, that's just common sense.
Yeah, I was doing these types of experiments when I was in 6th grade, so I don't know why it's so complicated for flat earthers to grasp. I think a lot of them either are posed. I really do. I've seen a few where I just cannot believe that they actually believe this, and the other ones I just think have mental issues to the point that they're capable of understanding very simple concepts, and that's one of the reasons they latch onto it. And they want to think that they know something that the rest of the spherical earthers don't know. They want to feel special. They want to say, oh, look, we know the earth is flat and we're woke, and all the other billions of people on the planet, you guys are wrong. We know something you don't know because we're so much smarter. That's the impression I get from
Steve,
most of them.
How old are you, sir?
Too damn old.
Did you just use the term woke?
Yeah, they think they're woke. Yeah.
I don't even know if I can look at you the same now.
That's not an old term. That's like a relatively new term. Are you woke, dude?
That's what I'm saying. You can't be speaking like millennials.
Well, I'm not advocating the use of the word. I'm just saying that that's how they speak. They think they're woke.
You're so woke up in y'all.
Stay unwoke, Steve.
And all I got, hey, you know what? Joy Bradford, she agrees with me. As long as Joy agrees with me, the rest of you can go fuck yourselves.
What a Joy. Oh,
she
Joy.
says you're right, Steve. That's it. That's all I got to know.
Right.
Thank you, Joy. Joy's awesome.
All right. Next round.
Yeah, give me. Quit being so slow, computer. There we go.
I don't think, though. I don't think that there are some of them that do actually believe that, though. I've watched in getting ready for that first debate that we did. I watched quite a few documentaries on flat Earth just because I couldn't believe that there were actually people that believe that. And I guess if you didn't know, how it's hard to explain, but they have an answer for everything. I mean, they can tell you why X is like this or why Y is like this. And if you didn't know any different, I think that it would make sense. So there are some people I think that actually genuinely believe that the government lies about everything. And but my question is, why would they lie about this? You know what I mean? There's nothing to gain from anybody lying that the Earth is round or flat. You know what I mean? It's
well,
just
yeah, but the problem is you're just a NASA shill. So why should we believe you?
Well, of course, but I mean, if I wasn't an NASA shill.
Well, wasn't Art point out the other day that some of these other countries is like, wait a minute, they're like China's going to the moon. They have nothing to do with NASA. SpaceX, nothing to do with NASA. It's like,
look, all of NASA is just lies.
There's nothing to gain from it. Oh no.
Oh yeah, we're going.
What do we got? What do we got next here? What is this?
Not Jim Baker.
What are you doing to me?
Baker buckets.
I didn't know anything about this. Are you really going to do this video?
Damn straight.
Oh God.
Oh hey, look, just because it's not the regular TGR podcast, I'm not letting you off easy.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
You wanted videos.
This is a collaboration. Do what you got to do. Make it hurt.
No. This is just all kind of levels of inappropriate.
Well, it's got Billy Graham on it, so.
Viewers, please forgive us.
I mourn for him because I believe the end of an era, and not only the end of an era, but perhaps the beginning of the last days. This is what many prophets have told me.
Right.
Before this day, they said when Billy Graham dies,
right.
It's going to signal the beginning. And I shouldn't do this.
Bring on the buckets.
What he's not telling them is his prophets is his marketing managers.
Even she's looking at him going, God, you're fucking crazy.
That's so true.
She's about as crazy as he is.
Yeah, I think
I know
she's
she
crazier than he is.
We didn't get to go over because we had Iseth on Saturday. But she was talking about how, like, if they don't act now or something, then Christians are going to be putting into like mental institutions by, the atheists and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my God, you're just as, when you don't have a Tourette moment and you're sitting there, not reliving in the past saying, I was in third grade. Yeah, you're just about as nutty as he is.
Well, let me ask you guys, hey, especially Kyle, you're an atheist. So let me ask you, in the history of humanity, the end times, all these different predictions. Let's say just throw out a couple of, hundreds of numbers, hundreds of predictions. Out of those hundreds, or even thousands and thousands of end time predictions, you as an atheist, can you tell me how many of them ever actually came true?
One, and that was when we elected Donald Trump as president.
And that was November. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Dun, 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 dun. That was the end of the United States. I don't know about the world though, but yeah,
Give it time.
It's the beginning of the end. But here's the thing. I mean, these guys have been doing this shtick forever. And matter of fact, growing up in the 70s, I remember reading books on this particular topic. Matter of fact, one of the bigger names actually lived not too far from where I did. He wrote a book called, I can't remember his name, but he wrote a book called The Late Great Planet Earth and Count in the 80s, Countdown to Extinction. What was his name? Anybody remember? I'm drawing a blank here. But anyways, the prophecies didn't come true. The
Eddie Murphy.
It wasn't Eddie Murphy, no. People had said in the 80s that this was going to be the end time, and they were during or just after the Cold War, and they thought Russia was still going to attack us, and so there was a lot of prophecies being made. And when they didn't come true, Hal Lindsey, thank you, Kylo. Dr. Rhodes pointed out. Yeah, Hal Lindsey. And so they actually went back and rewrote some of this stuff. And then they wrote supplementary books saying, oh, well, we changed our mind. It's not this date. It's going to be this date.
Oh,
that was back in the 80s.
And the thing is, there are so many causes of it, too. It's not just one, ultimate end time. You had the cults that would claim that the earth is going to end that led to Jonestown. You had Y2K was going to be apocalyptic. Now you've got a lot of people thinking that Nibiru is going to be the ender of the earth. And that was actually supposed to happen last November. And then again in this February. And now they're pushing it. I think the next day, somebody can check on this, but I think the next day that they're predicting is the 9th of March.
Matter of fact, this month I was asked by a PhD in astronomy to moderate a discussion between him and somebody else on Nibiru, and I was really taken kind of aback. I was like, "This really still thing?"
Yeah, it's a fascinating story because they think that that's going to be Planet 9 that crashes into us, but Planet 9 could be actually a real thing because of the ellipsis that it's on. They say could be. Oh, let me back up. There are a lot of things in the Kuiper Belt that are going on that they can't explain.
Sure. There's probably are Planet 9s and 10 and 11.
So if you take an ellipsis that goes from the sun's here and goes around, but it's farther back, like their ellipsis is longer, then it could explain why that gravitational pull is happening around there in the Kuiper Belt. The problem is it's not any way related to any doomsday prophecy, and there's no way that it will collide with the Earth. It's just a planet that's orbit around the sun takes thousands of years, and it's just on its upswing. That's why it's out there in the Kuiper Belt. But there's still, the science is still out on that. I guess it's a theory that they have. It's not anything proven, but it's
they've seen these perturbations in the orbits, and they've seen that the way they discovered other planets like Neptune and Pluto was because the pull of the gravity they've seen by the modeling, and we have very specific modeling now. We've known for a while there's other objects out there. We just haven't located them yet.
Sure.
But Nibiru, they believe, they moved it forth as some kind of like brown dwarf or something. And it's like, wait a minute. I think we would notice if we had a brown dwarf between us and Jupiter, because that's what they say. And like, no, a brown dwarf is a failed star. It's pretty large. We're going to notice if it's there.
Yeah, this is supposed to be this planet that they think is Nibiru is like it's got 4 times the mass of Earth. I mean, it's very interesting. And I love learning about stuff like that. Like space to me is just, I think, fascinating to stop and think of something that goes on for eternity, and you're only one of billions of galaxies, out there. I buy into the whole there are aliens out there. I'm going to say that. I think that it's quite arrogant to believe that of billions of different systems, we're the only one. Now, I don't believe in little green men or that they have visited here, but there's got to be something else out there. Even if it's on the microbial level, there's just got to be something else out there.
I know there was another date that they put out in June. Another person put out a date like, it's going to end June something. At this point, it's almost like they're just like throwing darts at the dates. It's going to be this one, and they're hoping it's right so they can finally say, see, I told you.
And that's what's going to happen, probably.
At dates is more scientific than what they're doing right now. Probably. I'll show you that.
Yeah, well, check it out. Okay, let's think about this. If you, Kyle, today said, tomorrow there's going to be a 8.5 or higher earthquake in California, and you put a video out on that, and it doesn't happen the next day, so you delete that video and you put another video with another date. Eventually you're going to get it right, and I guarantee it, if you did this experiment on YouTube, everyone would forget all the other times you put out the previous videos. All they look for is the hit. So that one psychic, that one person who thinks they have a psychic ability, because people make these predictions all the fucking time, that one person who says, you know what, there's going to be an earthquake in California, it's going to be tomorrow, blah, blah, and then there's an earthquake, that mofo is going to be famous.
The problem is, though,
there's practically wrong.
Big difference between predicting an earthquake and predicting the entire end of the world. And if the entire end of the world does happen, then there won't be anybody on YouTube to believe that psychic.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they want to predict the end of the world. Like you said, either two things going to happen: either the world ends, in which case nobody's going to give a shit, or the world doesn't end, and you're proving wrong. I don't see the benefit to
money.
It's like, see, I got it right. Oh shit.
But how are they getting? Who said
they want you in the fold so they can spread the word and let everybody know this is happening? It's
I don't get that. Look, if the world's going to end, what good is me giving him my fucking money, which I don't have? I mean,
because you think rationally, and you make the mistake of thinking that everyone else does.
I do have that problem.
And it's the same. It's the same thing with how I can't remember the guy's name in Jonestown that convinced everybody to drink the Kool-Aid that killed everybody.
Yeah,
we can't think on that level because it's not logical. It's not reasonable. Like there's no reason for that. But he somehow convinced dozens of people to do that. So I think if you have the mindset that's easily susceptible to that kind of thing, then it's not hard to think that if you're wrong on the date, that maybe you just got the date wrong. Maybe they're just sitting back going, well, you know what? The next one, it's got to be the next one. Like, that's the one for sure. My thing is, how do you show your face and have the nerve to predict another cataclysmic?
Because they don't care. Half of them are narcissists where they don't have the ability to even have embarrassment. I mean, segueing back to what we had before, I mean, honestly, do you think Ken Hovind was embarrassed by his performance? Nope. Even though how abysmal it was? Do you think he was embarrassed by that? No. Not at all. He thinks he probably did pretty well.
Well, I think those are two different things. I think that on Kent's, the way that he saw it is he's defending the faith. You know what I mean? Like he expects going into conversations like that he's going to get that kind of pushback, and that's just predicted in what the Bible says that you're going to, right? That you just have to go to war with that.
Yeah, the more persecuted you are, the more Christian you are, according to them.
Yes. If Kent came out and predicted the end of the world and it didn't happen, I think that's a completely different issue. I just don't see how
he's done that though. No, I think he did. I think he dived into eschatology.
No,
a little bit.
There's no way.
No. I am not kidding. Wasn't that
somebody
long ago?
Find that in the live chat.
Find it for me. He started getting into the King James only literalist, and at the same time, he started diving a little bit into eschatology. And I think he did make a prediction, and yet the problem that I found with the prediction, if I remember correctly, it was sometime after he would have been dead already. I mean, the guy's like pushing 80 or something, right? So if he said like 30 years, he'd probably be dead by then. So nobody could tell if he's right or wrong, right? Or nobody would care by then. Oh, the guy died. Who cares? He was wrong. Big deal. I mean, do we give a shit when half these psychics make predictions and they're dead? No, nobody cares.
How did he get away with that though? And there is no like response videos to that, because that's a big.
I will have to go hunt it down, but I do remember seeing something like that. Well, his followers won't do it because they're blinded by this guy. I mean, they literally will buy anything he says, hook, line, and sinker.
He is charming. You have to admit, he is kind of charming.
Well, he's slick, and and I get along with him personally.
He's
but
not as charming as a wart to me.
But his entire reputation is just one fallacy after another, and just misunderstanding of science.
If he predicted the end of the world, then this is going to be a topic on the next go round.
Now, somebody said he did make a prediction, and then he admitted he made a mistake making that prediction. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
What did he predict? I mean, that's what I'm saying. I remember something on it, and I think he admitted that he messed up on that. But at least
he admitted it, though. At least he admitted it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse. He could have gone full flat Earth, and I think that if there was money to be made there, he probably would have.
He's actually. I've seen several videos where he gets those questions that people ask him, and he gets at least one every video about flat Earth, and he does come out very defiantly against flat Earth. So.
I don't think he knows how much money is to be made be a flat earther. He should give it a thought. Well, actually, I guess so. But I think the reasoning is this: look he makes more money off the suckers that believe this bullshit about the 7,000-year-old Earth than he would lose if he became a flat earther. I think he would lose more in the long run, right? Because the flat earthers are a smaller niche, and I don't think there are a lot of his people that even believe the 7th Earth are willing to go to that step to believe that the Earth is flat. I think they would.
But it's growing, Steve. That's the scary thing. The flat Earth whole thing is growing.
Yeah. Well, we can only do so much to help prevent it. We've got killer people on the YouTube channels doing a lot to fight against flat Earth. We have obviously Reg Rhetoric. We've got Soundly. We've got Sean Hufford. We've got Rumpus. We've got GeoStriber. And I could spend forever saying to you guys these names. There's a lot of active people out there that work really hard to debunk flat Earth. And when we have these videos, and I've been on many of their panels, we have 300 people show up, and about I would say 20% of them are flat Earthers, maybe more. But I've never had one flat Earther say, you know what? I've watched your things and I've listened to you guys, and you convinced me that the Earth is not flat. Which
exactly.
But here's the thing. This kind of tends to me to believe that most of them are posed. Because I've actually changed the minds of young Earth creationists. I've actually had numerous young Earth creationists change. Matter of fact, I was just messaged today from somebody who's working on a PhD in molecular biology, who used to be a young Earth creationist. And he has a wonderful story to tell. And he contacted me the other day and again this morning to come on my channel or this channel and talk about it. And I said, we would love to. I do not have any flat Earthers doing that. Can you guys tell me the name of a single solitary flat earther that has ever given up that position?
No.
I'm still working on Sean G.
Sean G might be the first, but
he still believes.
But he's still an idiot. He's still a flat earther.
He's
a nice guy, though.
Yeah.
Nice kid.
Yeah, he's actually one of the only flat earthers I can actually get along with, even though he came on our show and got really, really destroyed. But anyway, there's a real easy way to tell if a flat earther is opposed. If you look at mainly the description, but also the comments, they put out any merchandise, like flat earth merchandise, automatically they're opposed. They're using it. If they rap, like if they have some sort of music on there, they're
get the fuck out of here.
I shit you not. Delano TV.
They're flat earth rappers.
Yeah, Delano TV. He raps on there and he sells merchandise. Who else? I don't know if the pilot boss man. I don't know if he's a flat earther. Well, he's.
We got it. We have to get him on.
That guy is awesome.
We have got to get him on.
Frankie, can you find a one of his videos?
Yep.
He is an undiscovered idiot savant genius of the highest caliber.
By the way, let me just say that I love how he how Jim Baker led us to a very scientific discussion about the planets and then into what we're about to see. I mean, thank you, Jim.
If you guys don't know who this guy Pilot is, it's hard to describe because he's a pure wordsmith. And I gotta admit, if he just wrote poetry, he would probably be, one of the greatest poets of all time. But since he's a flat earther that has no ability to understand science, it's just a bunch of mismatched shit that he throws together, and it's weird.
I want to tag him in this too because I want him to. This is an open invitation for him to come on a Sunday. Any Sunday he'd like, I would love to speak to him because I don't care if he's a Poe or if this is just an act. Because if this is just an act, the guy deserves an Academy Award because it's genius. I mean,
it is.
What he's been able to do is just, I think, fantastic.
Hey, Dr. Rhodes wants to have a rap off with you, Kyle.
With me?
Or with you. No, I'm sorry, duo. Yeah.
With me?
Yeah.
I'm like the whitest guy ever. There's no way I can rap.
It'd be like atheist and Christianity side by side on my piano.
Let me just put you this way: G-Man can rap better than I can.
Ooh.
But think about it. He has a PhD in theology. You're an atheist. It'd be like the ultimate in rap collaboration.
That's not what I want.
Sure. Tell him I accept.
There you go.
Yeah, I am actually working on getting a new mic booth. This one is made for more like sound live, like stage kind of stuff. So I've been having actual problems with it.
Is that a card art or a dynamic?
It's it's a Cobalt.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, there he is.
I heard somebody's getting a blue. Is that true?
Who?
Who?
You.
I'm on it right now.
Oh, okay. You ready? Okay. Yeah,
you
sounds
notice
good.
the lack of headset?
Oh, it sounds much better. Yeah, no, it sounds clear.
All right, we got a bunch to choose from. I'll show you. Like, hold on. You'll see one of his music videos and
just click one, man. It doesn't matter which one it is. They're all the.
Joy says, "You know who is a wordsmith? Red's Rhetoric. That guy schools these flatards, rips them a new one." Yeah, no, I agree with you there.
He does.
See,
Reg is number one. I know a lot of debunkers, and they're all really good. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, Reg has done this for a very long time, and he has a video on the ISS Transit that has 1 million views already, and it's well deserved because that video is just it says so much flat Earth butt hurt. It's ridiculous.
It's a great video.
So there's one right here. It's called Blinded Flight Music Video. So.
Sure.
But let's see. How to know if your family member is in hell?
Oh, that's a good one. Let's do that. Let's do that one. I've got several I'd like to know.
Yeah, I think I've reached out to this guy before when he was doing something with Skylar, but I'll try again. I'll get him.
This will get back to him, I think.
No.
Let one of us know. Email us at live@nonsexshow.com.
Do you presuppose, bro?
Do you even astrology, bro?
Dude,
no. you can't know anything unless astrology is true.
Flight boss, bitch. For sure. You're now listening to the Mind of Military.
Let me restart
that. I love this guy. I'm telling you, if he wasn't a flat earther, I'd be like, this guy's the greatest comedic genius rapper.
This guy's great.
Wordsmith of all time.
He has charisma, and it's
flat
sad.
Young Earth creationist.
He is. I mean, he's very watchable. I'm not gonna lie. He's very watchable. Take it away, the pilot.
Flight Buster, Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now I want to explain, and I want to talk about how to know if an ancestor is in hell. Because here's the thing, a lot of y'all who pray to y'all ancestors ain't give a fuck about y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not receiving any blessings...
Your ancestors don't give a damn.
They don't give a fuck about you. They be burning in hell.
This guy's fantastic. This guy's fantastic.
I'm telling you, I love this guy.
From the higher life, which is blessings ain't nothing but being lessened. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a lesser being.
I don't.
That you receive blessings from a higher being because you are a lesser being. You see what I'm saying?
No.
I totally see what he's saying.
But I don't never like to be less. That's why I don't never use the term blessings. But if that's where it correlates from. When you are a lesser being, so you receive blessings from higher beings. Now, if you're not receiving any blessings from your ancestors, this is going to kind of give you an idea of understanding. Now, for the most part, when an ancestor pass on, right?
There's the key
energy,
right there.
The frequency vibration that.
This is the only time you're going to hear me say this. That is the fucking problem.
Yeah.
That's the fucking problem.
Too much formaldehyde in that batch, I think.
I want to know what it is. Because apparently it's some really good stuff that just opened up his third eye.
I don't know, man.
He saw a lot of shit.
Yeah, I've not seen somebody this opened on his chakras. That's for sure.
I don't know if like Steve said, I don't know if I want to be that level of woke. I think that's too woke.
Dude, that is way woke. That's like 12 cups of coffee woke, at least.
Proceed, Pilot Man.
That ancestor was in, and the things that they was putting attention to and acting on. When that ancestor pass off, the family members or the people that's close to that person, or anybody or anything that person was connected to, is supposed to share those vibrations. Same way you physically share these people things, like when you got a person that died in your life, everybody shares something that they had. Do you want this from this family member? Do you want this? Or you throw some of the things away. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, it goes into all the worlds, even in the vibration and the frequency world. In the vibration, everybody's supposed to share a piece of that person's soul, because that person has went to a life where they're in a bigger life. You see what I'm saying?
He's gotten high one too many times and has listened to good vibrations way too much.
I'm just going to say that everything he just said is awesome. I agree with it 1,000%. Whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. I'm down with that.
Can we follow? Can we turn him into like a sect and follow him like he's our
cult leader,
our guru?
Yeah, I'm gonna get in touch with him. Trust me, I will get him on.
Pilot Man, we are inviting you to be our guru. We would like for you to come on and give us some, you know what I'm saying?
And if the live chat wants to get in touch with him too and have him, contact us, contact us at live, live at nonsexshow.com.
Yep, and that's NonSequitur Show.com. But we don't want to we don't want to bring him on here to clown him or anything like that.
No,
really
not at all.
No,
I'm not clowning on him at all. I watched him and Skylar have a conversation. No.
Oh, that was epic.
It was epic. It was really good.
That was epic. I don't agree with anything that he says, but I like hearing it for some reason. So
put it on in the background before you go to sleep.
You know what? I think we should get him on for Let's Talk with Shannon.
Don't do that to Shannon.
Yep. Oh, come on. Shannon's a big girl. She can handle it.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea too. But I want to have him on here first to ask him some questions about his.
Well, we could do it on here if you wanted. We could do a Let's Talk with Shannon here.
Yeah, you can bring Shannon on. That'd be good.
We could do a special edition. Sure.
I want to know number one, what's rolled up in that brown paper first of all, and where I can get some.
He's even got a joint in his hand. I just noticed that. I didn't even see that before.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't have to look for it because
I know he was high as hell. That was obvious.
Yeah. Good guy. Let's get him on. Well, I think probably wrap up and recap what we've got coming up this week, and unless Steve or Frankie, you have anything else?
No, I'm good. I think I'm going to be on the Geek Room on, what is it, Frankie, the 17th? Is we're going to be on there? Or I'm going to be on there
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh no, we're going to do one for that Flat Earth who's going to shoot himself up into space on Tuesday. But I know you're also on the Let's Riff on the 17th, which is next week actually.
Okay, so I'm going to be on Let's Riff, and also on, like I said, Pimp's on the 11th, and I think Pimp's going to be on mine coming up here. I don't know. We'll see. Got a lot of stuff planned. We have done so many things scheduled. My damn Outlook is just like all blue, and so that's good. That's good. It's good to be busy.
I got a little dry erase board just like right over there. That's just like all scribbled on now. So it's just I had to.
Oh, and before I forget, Kyle, do you want to announce the poll results, or do you want to save that for later?
Oh yeah. Shockingly, and I don't think anybody out there expected this, Okay, so just brace yourself. But we had kind of an upset. Didn't really expect it, but 96, I believe it was. Right, Steve? 96?
95.
95% went for Kent Hovind. No, I'm just kidding.
We're fucking with you.
96% went to Aaron Ra.
It was 95% for Aaron. Well, 95% that Hovind didn't meet the phylogenetic challenge or the phylogeny challenge, and the 5% that voted for him, that comes to about 7 people because there was 131 I think voted. So of those 7 people that voted for Hovind, would like to know who you are and message me. I would really like to ask you if you think that Hovind did actually answer the question, and I mean gave an answer to explain the phylogeny challenge and answer the phylogeny challenge. I want to talk to you. I want to have you on. We'll have you on, will we not, Kyle?
You have their number, Steve. Just call Kent.
Yeah, we figured it was Kent, it was Rhonda, it was Steve, it was Nick, and who else is from that compound?
But we want to express our sincere thanks to Aaron Ra and Kent and his IT team for making Friday happen. I know we had some mix-ups on Thursday, but Friday was really a great show, and we appreciate Steven and Nick and Rhonda and all of you guys for making it happen. We look forward to another one very soon, but that was a lot of work, and we appreciate it on both teams.
Yeah, there will be a part 2. We count on it.
Yeah. So with that, tomorrow night, Anthony Magnabosco for the Street, Street
Epistemology.
Yeah.
Street Steve. We're gonna put Steve on the corner to work.
It's a word like statistic that I can't say very quickly.
I'm not going to
embarrass myself like that.
Because I don't want to be on the street doing this kind of stuff. You might want to mention our Non-Sequitur Show Patreon that we have now.
Oh yes, you can go the Geek Room. I believe I've listed the Geek Rooms up to ours is patreon.com/nonsequitur, and the way we've got it structured is the different tiers, and it will kind of increase your involvement within the show. We've got to where you can actually write an episode, be the first people to get the podcast when it comes out a day early. You can be on a show. And speaking of that, for anyone who subscribes to us, we are going to start picking 2 people every week to join us on one of these weekend shows. You'll come in to like we are now and kind of do the show with us.
At the bottom, that'll be you.
Yeah. So that's a kind of a cool thing that we're going to start doing. So just click subscribe, and we're going to randomly pick 2 each week, and you can jump on and co-host with us. You can visit our website for past episodes and upcoming guests, and that's at nonsecshow.com. That's NONSEQ show.com. Same with Twitter and Facebook. NONSEQ show.com. And Frankie, I'll let you now. God, I need to go to sleep.
It's been a long day.
Frankie, I'll let you go through the Geek Room's social media and Patreon account now as well.
Yeah, we have a Patreon account. This I think it's like / the Geek Room. Really easy to find. The only one there. We have a bunch of reward tiers where you can come watch a movie with us once a month. It's our movie ticket night. You'll get access to post shows, which we do after every show. Normally we either have the guest on, or we just sit there and talk shit, or we really kind of get more into the videos. We also have private Patreon shows to where we play stuff that normally would probably might get us flagged by either the person or by YouTube. So it's pretty much like the regular show, just kind of cranked up to 11, and me and Bran are drunk as hell while we're doing it. So I mean,
hell yeah,
yeah. We also have a once a month private Patreon hangout where you just sit down and just talk with us, just talk random shit. If you want to know how that goes, just go on our channel and look up the one we did today. That's called Dildos and Ravioli, where Pit Monk crashed it.
Yeah, don't watch that one. No, just yeah, wow. No, I got to tell you, the Geek Room is one of those channels where anything can happen. I would have never planned what had happened.
No, I didn't either.
That was just, oh God.
It was a lot of fun, though.
It was a lot of fun, but I have no responsibility for anything that transpired on there.
So you know it's good.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. And we also have like a $30 tier where you get everything plus merchandise once a month for free. We also have a Facebook. We got a Twitter. I'm more active on Twitter. Brand's kind of more active on Facebook. Well, he's active on both, but he's usually more on the Facebook. I'm the one that's more active on Twitter. And that's the best ways you can contact us, where you want to send us a video and everything. So, yeah, our channel is really easy, the Geek Room. Go ahead and go on over there and subscribe. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Once again, we appreciate all of the support. We are up at, I believe, almost 1,400 subscribers now. And in 6 weeks, I think that's amazing. So thank you guys very much for all of your support. And if you have any suggestions, comments, feedback, critiques, we take them all. So feel free to send that to us and let us know what you'd like to see, and we'll see if we can't make it happen. For Steve McRae and Frank Wolf, I'm Kyle Curtis, and thank you for joining NonSequitur in the Geek Room ad hominem. Have a good night and a great week.
Laters.